Hi, I'm Demi, founder and CEO of You're the Book Press and editor-in-chief of Self Pub Magazine. I'm here in the studio today with author Kevin Buck, the Grave Hunter. Dum, dum, dum.
Sounds ominous.
Yeah, did you have a warped childhood or what?
No. I actually had a wonderful childhood.
What was it like growing up?
I grew up in Central Jersey, youngest of five.
Five.
Yeah.
Brothers, sisters?
Three brothers and a sister.
What was the biggest battle over? The bathroom or the
TV.
What did we do before the remote control?
Yeah, exactly. It was the control of the TV.
Control of the TV.
Definitely.
So what were your favorite shows?
Growing up, it was the classics. You know, there was originally it was the westerns, but I grew out of the westerns after a while.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun,
Well,
dun, dun.
for me, it was the Roy Rogers.
Roy Rogers.
TV show.
You're
Which was
more classic than me.
And going into Roy Rogers was great, except my my neighbor Buzzy he hated Roy Rogers.
Really?
As compared, because most of the Western shows were set in the Wild West, where Roy Rogers was modern times, and every time Roy Rogers would get in a Jeep or pick up the phone, Buzzy'd go,
He's not a real cowboy.
right. So, yeah, I kind of came in towards the end of Roy Rogers. But, you know, it was there graduating to all the other wonderful TV shows that we had, you know, the Beverly Hillbillies and the Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Oh,
and
the
just so many
Clampets.
different things, yes.
Did you ever favor the Abbott and Costello routines?
Oh, I've always loved Abbott and Costello. I grew up in Central Jersey where we got one of our three TV stations.
You had three?
Yeah,
I only had one.
Well, three plus the PBS, but PBS didn't count because there was nothing good on PBS at that time. Every 11:30 every Sunday morning there was there was an Abbott and Costello movie, and it was very rare when I missed that.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any favorite scenes?
They have so many. Obviously, their Who's on First routine is one of the best. But the best version of that I've seen anyway was off of their 50s TV show, the Abbott and Costello TV show.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So your childhood is filled with television icons. Mm-hmm. How do you get from that, from watching them behind the screen, to wanting to go and find the actors who created those characters?
Well, it was kind of an accident that I was out visiting my cousin Steve in California.
Okay.
And we went to go visit some relatives at Forest Lawn, Glendale, a beautiful, large...
That's one of the biggies, isn't it?
It's huge. It's huge. And we went there to visit some relatives, and while we were there, he said, "Oh, look over there. There's Walt Disney, and over there's Spencer Tracy, and there's Clayton Moore, and there's Larry Fine." And it was just a shock to me, because I never really had thought about it to that point.
Do famous people have to reserve a grave site and they fight to be near somebody that they love?
There are cemeteries like Hollywood Forever where they really do. It was very exclusive for a while there. I mean, anybody can get in there if you have enough money. But there are some that actually clamored for some of the stars, sure.
Are they buried near spouses or other family members, or just celebrity?
I would say, for the most part, they're buried with their relatives. You know, a lot of what you would consider major stars have very, very plain markers.
Really?
Yeah. Natalie Wood, it's just her name. It's very, very plain. Even Marilyn Monroe's is very, very simple.
Oh. Well, maybe when you're hounded so much in real life, you just want to have a quiet moment.
That's right. Exactly.
So, in your book, you pay tribute to some of these entertainers that really were integral to your life.
Right.
Who might we find out about in your first book?
Well, the Humphrey Bogarts and the Red Skeltons of the world. I mean, I grew up watching Red Skelton on TV. That's one of my many fond memories. The Don Adams from the Get Smart TV series. Hattie McDaniel from Gone with the Wind. She played Mammy from Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting story. And when I find that I'm going to be going to a cemetery to potentially visit somebody, I spend some time doing some research around them, and that gives me a better context for them. I learn a lot more about them, and that's part of the fun. The fun is doing the research. It's more fun to go and actually do the tribute, and then the most fun is to talk to people about it.
What might be the contents of a next book? Because this is just begging for a sequel here.
I actually have, if I wanted to stay in this model, I have plenty of material for Looking for Miss Crabtree 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
I even have the titles all picked out. Looking for Miss Crabtree 2 with just an insert carrot, and more Confessions of a Grave Hunter. And the next one will be and even more, and then and much more Confessions of a Grave Hunter.
Are there themes to those ideas?
Just more individuals. I have other ones that are probably a little more themed. One revolves around duos. The Abbott and Costello, the Crosby and Hope, the Lucy and Desi, the Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn model. So again, more the duos. I've also done some research and would like to do it around some animals. The Fury, the Flicka, the Lassie, the Benji, those types of characters.
Do they usually use just one animal?
No, they generally rotate many through. With some exceptions.
That would make your job hard.
There was only one flipper. The initial flipper, his name was Mitzi, and I did get to visit Mitzi down on the Keys in Florida.
So she's close to the water.
Yes.
Well, good for her. Now, once upon a time, I heard a rumor that there might be a different kind of writing going on at your house on occasion about an iconic band member.
Well, that could just be a nasty rumor, It's I've
It's
tried
vicious.
I've tried some forays into the fictional side of the world, and who knows, maybe someday.
You sure?
Yeah.
I really want to suck that one out of you because I just think it could be a huge new work.
It would be, but it would be a vortex of time and energy as well.
Well, okay, so this grave hunting thing, let me go back to that. What is your typical family vacation like? And does your wife just freak out over this?
No, my wife is very, very supportive.
You're
of these
lucky.
things. Yes, I know how fortunate I am. And a good example of that would be when we had gone to Branson, Missouri, just because I had to burn some vacation time. And
I know that's on my travel hotspot list.
well, and it was a
right after like Panama and yeah.
But
Siberia.
it was a very easy conversation. Say, honey, look, only 3.5 hours to go see Mr. Ed's grave in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. And so we did a nice day drive over to Tahlequah, Oklahoma and back. So
do you have like a payback system? You get to see Mr. Ed and she gets to...
And I deny her nothing.
Oh, good.
Okay.
She earns her keep.
Absolutely.
Every day, I'm sure. What's the rest of your family life like?
I have a boy and a girl. My boy is married, and my daughter is still with us, and she's doing very, very well. Very, very proud of both of them.
Do they think there's anything weird about your habit?
I think initially, they've grown very accustomed to it. And my daughter's actually gone on quite a few little expeditions.
Does she take pictures?
Yeah, she has. When we went down to do tribute to Divine, that was something a character that actually very much intrigued her.
Do you have any advice for would-be grave hunters? Because I got to imagine some of our viewers out there might find this fascinating. Where would they start?
Research, research, research. That's the number one motto. And
is there a great website?
The number one place to go is findagrave.com.
That exists?
Absolutely. But like any website, you have to take its information with a grain of salt. So it's good to try to get some other, there's a findadeath.com, and there's a couple of other sites as well. But Find a Grave is really my go-to site for, that's where I start. And then from there, they don't always have the information. They may have a cemetery and nothing else. So you may end up showing up to a cemetery not having any idea where they are, if they are in fact there.
Oh, wow.
So you end up having to deal with the people that, run the cemetery. And as long as you're nice to them, they'll be nice to you.
Stupendous. Well, I can't wait to hear what graves might be hunted after you've thrown down, the challenge here. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.